Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe at the core of this planet. Maybe at the core of this planet.
Plan or
Fuck,
plan
I did
not?
it again!
I was hoping you would do it again.
In 1996, Scholastic began publishing Animorphs. Over the next 6 years, Catherine Applegate and her husband, Michael Grant, under the pseudonym K.A. Applegate, produced 54 main series books, several spin-offs, and inspired a TV series, graphic novels, and a cult following. We can't tell you where we live. We can't even tell you our last names. But we can tell you our thoughts and feelings on this series, book by book. I'm Miranda.
I'm Eddie.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the Anidorks. These may be kids' books, but we discuss dark themes and mature content. There may also be some explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Okay, should we jump in?
We should probably read the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't make it easy for ourselves because we left off in the middle of a chapter.
We didn't make it easy for ourselves, says the person who picked where we ended last.
You did.
No.
Yeah.
What I did was
I
vaguely pointed us towards a point, but then Miranda, you were like, I don't know when we've hit the point. I didn't say what the moment was, so we were just kind of feeling it out, trying to find it. So
it's true. And I tried to do a big climactic ending, and Eddie was like, "That wasn't the moment." And I was like, "Oh, sorry."
So where we left off. Elfangor has ridden his Mustang and then fallen into a hole. The earth opened up, swallowed him down.
Seems unconcerned about it. He's just like, I'm in a cool car in the desert. I don't fucking care anymore.
Well, he's very scared once he falls in the hole.
Yes. He's in a hive of Taxxons. Just Taxxons everywhere. And then he hears a screaming ThoughtSpeak voice or something like ThoughtSpeak.
I don't think it's them as screaming. It's just that it's really big.
Is this the creature?
It's loud.
Is it screaming?
Yeah.
The voice in my head was huge, massive. It was like hearing a planet speak. I took that as screaming.
Yes, and he also talks about...
It's not screaming.
But it's just talking.
But he talks about feeling like he could be flattened by this voice, I think, or something like that.
It's true.
He says there's a psychic blow involved.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, man. I am getting Great One whale vibes from this.
For sure.
From this. Yeah. This is the, yeah.
So are we saying, okay, like, new theory. Every planet, maybe not every planet, but most planets have some sort of creature that is like some sort
Too
of
big
like
for its own good
progenitor creature that is attuned to the universe. Whether or not they actually created everything that's there or had any role in it, like they are attuned to their place in the universe in a unique way. And for us, it's whales, and for these guys, it's the mother and father of the Taxxons, the living
hive.
hive.
The big mountain. What is it called?
Yeah, it's the well, he calls it
the living hive. The living
hive, the Red Mountain, yeah.
But it is collective versus swarm, which is the thing we talked about before.
Yeah, this is good collective, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, we like collectives. We like when it's...
We like the Animorphs. We don't like the Animorph school. We don't like... we like Captain Picard. We don't like Starfleet. I'm lost in this metaphor. I'm not gonna lie.
But like the Taxxons, I mean, I'm confused because they say that these still, at one point he says these are the good Taxxons, quote unquote good.
We didn't even know there were good Taxxons until this very moment.
But he still thinks they're bad, because they still have the hunger. But it seems like they kind of peacefully coexist here too. They don't eat each other, and that seems to be when the Taxxons when the swarm is working against, like, the Yeerks are competitive and they'll kill each other and they'll backstab, and the Taxxons cannibalize each other, but these Taxxons peacefully coexist.
There's another way. Yeah, it's sort of like an it's like humans are only bad because they're put into capitalist context, you know?
It could also be like a sort of true hive mind thing where once they're all like if you get enough of them together, their brains all work together and they can overcome the hunger despite it still being there.
Yes.
But alone, sort of like the Geth from Mass Effect, where it's like you got 5 Geth programs in a little robot. It's dinky rinky-dink shit. You can't do anything but aim and shoot badly.
Yeah.
But then you get Legion, and he's got all sorts of things. And then you get, like, Geth ships, where they're all on, the servers and shit, and they're, like, incredible.
Well, and another question is like, why weren't we feeding the Taxxons? Like, why are the Taxxons so starving? And no, but seriously, like, we made that joke a couple episodes ago. It's like, why are they so hungry?
Is it a psychic hunger? Are they hungering for the psychic bond with their own?
There you go. Maybe it's, maybe they're like, maybe when they're without their Hive mom dad, when they're without their Hive mom dad, they go into a self-preservation mode that they otherwise wouldn't be in.
Do we think Taxxons, if they could, do we think Taxxons outside the living hive regularly eat themselves to death, like they just explode if they're given enough food?
I don't think so.
You think they're satiated?
Eat themselves to death.
If it's a psychic hunger and they're not having that satiated.
I also thought what Chris thought, which is that if left alone, the Taxxon would just eat itself.
No, I mean, like, if they just had, like, an endless supply of food, they would just burst at some point because they just wouldn't stay.
They seem like that to me when they're described when they morph them. But Arbron seems to gather some level of hold over the hunger, at least while he's in the hive. Yeah. While they're here with the living hive, they seem to function.
Yeah.
And they're a little brainwashed. Because Arbron is here. I think we said that at the end of the last episode. And he's like, I have found new purpose to serve the living hive. I am uniquely able to serve it. And he describes it very much as like almost a religious figure, but also very, very much like literal and real.
Yeah. I think maybe we should get a description of the living hive, because we kind of jumped into describing what it's like, but maybe we got to this last time we were recording, actually. But it's, Elfangor falls in this cavern, this vast cavern, and in the center of the cavern is like a small mountain. It has tendrils, right? It seems like it extends out from a center.
And it glows.
And it glows red? A dim red?
Yes, I believe red.
And I don't know if we're seeing the actual living hive or if the living hive is beneath, like if it's underground and it's just forming this mound in the sand. I don't think we know, right?
It seems to have control over the way the ground forms. Maybe at the core of this planet is a Taxxon, like a big meaty Taxxon the size of a planet core that's like...
So I was wondering, is it like a symbiotic relationship? Like, is the living hive getting something from the Taxxons, or is it actually a kind of Taxxon?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm guessing kind of Taxxon. I get that vibe from it. They work so well together. And the other thing, they address this in a second, but like one of the questions that Elfangor asks Arbron is, how did you get here so fast? Because he was flat out, he was like pedal to the metal in his Mustang going through the desert. And he gets there and it's like, the transport tunnels, the tendrils go for miles.
Suck tunnels.
Out
the suck tunnels.
Yeah. As you named it, Chris.
I didn't say that. You said that first. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I said it first. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like,
I just think they should be called suck tunnels. And it goes back to Taxxons being innately talented in mass transit.
That's true.
It just goes back.
Yes,
to
this is where they get it from.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Elfangor is wondering how Arbron got here so quickly. And you meant physically, like geographically how he got here, but also emotionally. Because Arbron's not the same Arbron that he was 15 minutes ago.
Very much 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But he's gone through 2 books worth of like material in terms of his emotional arc. He is a full-on believer.
Yeah, he read like, some revolutionary's autobiography.
Yes.
He's
growing his little arms back too.
He is. His legs are regenerating, and he wants to know, Elfangor wants to know what's going on. Like why does the living hive want me here? And Arbron's like, all right. The hive is angry.
And he says, me?
Yeah, Elfangor immediately is like very nervous because if that thing's mad at him, he'd just, it could like blow.
He literally says,
whistle in his
if
direction.
it talks to me too loud, I'll die.
Yeah. And Arbron continues. He says, the living hive is tired of losing its children to the Yeerks. The living hive has long sought a way to destroy the Yeerk invaders and remove them from this planet. But the hive could not understand the Yeerks and their machines. Now the hive has an advisor. Someone who understands machines, spaceships, Dracon beams. Someone who will help the hive destroy the Yeerks and their traitor Taxxons. And it's him!
Yeah.
It's Arbron. It's this guy.
He's
What's
gonna
got
lead-
dozens of legs and little jello eyes? This guy!
Now, can we just jump to
Imagine
where
all
did we
those little
leave him?
thumbs up.
When we left him, he was in full-on despair. And, like, if we're being generous, how much time has passed? Like, 6 hours?
I think it's like 12 hours. Yeah.
He spends a while looking around because he gets knocked out by the crash, right? And then when he wakes up, everybody's gone.
He said he drove, how far does he say, 100 miles?
Yeah, it doesn't really say how far he went. So maybe it went, what he says is it only went 100 miles per hour. But with the wind in your face, it feels, amazing. So I think that's where we're locking onto the 100.
Going
But he
100
actually
miles
never
per hour?
says how far he went.
It better have been a really flat fucking desert.
He does say we're hundreds of miles from where we landed. How did you
Yeah.
get here? You couldn't possibly have walked. Now, we don't know if he's just saying a number, but he probably is. But regardless, Arbron's worked quickly. Do you think that the living hive absorbed all of this information from him while it was passing Arbron through its suck tunnels? I think
Probably, right? Because
Yeah.
you get a lot of nutrients as food is passing through your later colon, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
it's, that's why horses have such long colons.
Yeah.
That's why, wolves and obligate carnivores have such short colons to avoid getting parasites.
There you go.
Arbron says, "Don't pity me, Elfangor. I am glad I didn't die. Not where he was when we left him. Any life is better than none, and no matter how awful things seem, there is always meaning and purpose to be found." It is such an about face. Like, he was begging
He
to
joined a
die.
cult.
Yeah.
He joined a cult.
Yeah, but it really is just I'm in disbelief also.
Yeah.
It's like 12 hours ago he literally tried to get Elfangor to shoot him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now he's the leader of a Taxxon rebellion because he has prepared them to attack the spaceport. They're in the final stages of preparing an attack. Not only did he just get here 12 hours ago, they're in the final stages of planning an attack. We worked fast.
Try and imagine this, okay? You're living with, I don't know, you're living in your hive, and some guy shows up at the top of a hill or through a suck tunnel, and it's just like, hey, we're gonna start a war right now. Like, I don't know. They the infrastructure, what's that called? You have to get a thing. Never mind. I'll look it up.
So these are the mountain Taxxons then, right?
Yes, these are the mountain Taxxons, yeah. The stars of this book, I think. I mean, we haven't read part 3 yet, but...
Casus Belli.
Oh, Casus Belli, like a
Casus
papal
Belli.
dispensation, or cause
Exactly.
for war.
Exactly, the Casus Belli needed to be there.
I was hearing B-E-L-L-Y
It had to be
at
there
first.
already. Yeah. Belli. Belli. Casus means incident, rupture, or indeed case.
Oh,
While
okay.
belly means belly. No, belly means of war.
What is this referring to? Where we attack tonight, the living hive is pushing her tunnels closer to the spaceport. So the living hive has to push her tunnels.
His.
1,000
Both mom
Taxxons.
and dad to you.
Yes,
true.
just like Moody's
Moody
point, as he pointed out. Yeah.
Moody's point, yeah.
1,000 Taxxons will pour from the ground, surprising the Yeerks and all their creatures. Elfangor imagines that moment. 1,000 huge, hungry worms erupting amid the technological cathedrals of the ship's cradles. Erupting amid. Okay, I was thinking that they were describing the suck tunnels as.
No, they're just gonna pop
Yeah.
up out of the
Exiting
ground
there.
like
Yeah. The
The
daisies.
suck tunnels are not like cathedrals.
Yeah.
They could be.
Yes, so Arbron, who just turned into a Taxxon, is saying even a Taxxon has the right to control its own planet. Even
That's
a Taxxon
true.
has the right to resist an invader. Elfangor says you can't win, and then we get a very Animorphs line. aren't lost causes sometimes the best causes, Elfangor, which feels like something our kids would say.
What does he mean, though?
Our kids?
Our kids, you know.
You mean the animals?
The gag, the animals.
I'm worried
Our
about
children.
our Rachel. She seems, it
They've
seems
been gone a
natural to
while
be
and-
boy crazy, but that just was next level.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That could be our thing as a podcast that we refer to them.
Is that
our
we just
Rachel.
talk about them
Our
like
Tobias.
our Rachel?
I'm worried about our Rachel.
I'm worried about our Rachel.
I am
kind of
worried
like
about our
this
Rachel.
game. I'm very worried about our Rachel. I'm very worried about our Arbron, but I'm proud of him
too.
for his new job.
He got a good, it's a promotion, really, from where he was. He was a war cadet, now he's a rebellion leader.
And this would be really good for his comedy, I think.
But that. What do you think comedy? I mean, I guess it's tragedy plus time, I guess.
Well, no, we know
anyway.
this. No, Elfangor said Arbron does that sometimes.
That's
he
true.
does humor
He does the
sometimes.
comedy.
Is comedy war crimes plus time too? Is that true?
Plus suck tunnel.
Plus suck tunnel equals comedy. Got
So
it.
he stays there a whopping afternoon among the Taxxons.
So,
Yeah.
I think Arbron at best has had 2 meals since he got
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
yeah.
Lunch and
At
dinner.
best. Yeah.
Elfangor hates it. He describes it as this cavern as a horrible, reeking, stifling. He hates the horrible, reeking, stifling darkness of that underground.
He says that these Taxxons are just as repulsive as the other Taxxons.
Elfangor's like, I don't know, man. This seems hopeless, but that's great. But Arbron finally, comes out of the woodwork because he's, been gone all afternoon finishing preparations for tonight's attack. He's like, right, so, the humans. Andaloran, if we can find him. My Taxxons are the good guys, but when we get up there, we're not going to look or act very different from all the other Taxxons.
So just kill me. He's back
Well,
here.
just,
He got back.
Find them and try to keep them safe, and then the most important thing is that you get the time matrix away, because any living creature is in danger when the time matrix has a threat of being used, the living hive included, so it needs to be gone. And you need to take Aloran's wife to get out of here. All right?
The thing that gets me is this creature has opened up a hole in the ground. And I get sending 1,000 Taxxons, but doesn't that seem like just too few?
Why wouldn't we just open the ground underneath the spaceport
Yeah,
the
that's
way we
kinda
did
what I'm
underneath
saying.
Elfangor? It doesn't make a ton
Yeah.
of sense.
Maybe it
Yeah.
only could open up the ground close to wherever the core of
Oh
this
yeah,
living
because she
hive
does.
is.
He does have to extend her tunnels.
Yes.
So maybe
But
if we
you're
just
right about
waited a
that.
couple more days, we could pull the earth out from under them.
Yeah. Can it use the tunnels to pull its
Yeah,
body along?
exactly. Yeah. A longer term initiative to get the him, her there. The her, him there.
THERE, not THEIR.
Oh yeah, not her, him there.
Yeah.
Not her, him, them. Her, him,
Yeah.
there.
No, her, him, there. Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Recording this podcast is always verbal gymnastics. It's always what are they going to make me say?
Do you think, so the way that I can more easily imagine Arbron's arc here is that Arbron is still ready to die, but maybe he's just found a cause to die for rather than being ready to have Elfangor cut him in half.
He can maybe make a little bit of a difference this way.
Yeah.
His statement to Elfangor is that, you don't get distracted about what your war is. I think that's what he's saying. He's we're working alongside each other here, but, you need to save the humans. You need to get the time matrix. And that's important. We cannot help you with that. You cannot help us with our thing.
No,
you
but
should go do your thing.
He also does seem to me to imply that his thing is involved with fighting the Yeerks.
Mm-hmm.
The Yeerks have come and corrupted these Taxxons, and he was predisposed to hate the Yeerks as an Andalite. So he's like, I have found a new way to try to hurt the Yeerks as a Taxxon.
Yeah.
He still doesn't want his mom and dad to know what happened to him, though.
Yeah.
He wants
I
him to
guess
say
I'm
he
just
died
saying,
in
Eddie,
battle.
are you trying to say that he's still acting like he's still pursuing self-harm? Is that what you're seeing in this narrative?
I guess so, or self-destruction, but
But
he
not
does
from
say
Elfangor.
no, not specifically. I think it's more that like he thinks they're all going to die when they go attack to space. He says that at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little bit strange because he goes from utter despair, right, when he tries to get Elfangor to kill him on the ship. Then he says, "Don't pity me, Elfangor. I am glad I didn't die. Any life is better than none, and no matter how awful things seem, there is always meaning and purpose to be found." And then for us, I think on the next page, or maybe it's just in that same page, he says that he's probably going to die once he gets there. It's just a little bit confusing, but I do think he is going into this assuming he's going to die, so his feelings haven't changed that much. It's more that he's dying.
I guess I don't see it that way. I think he sees. Yeah, I think it's like it doesn't seem exactly as 1-to-1, but it could be. I mean, I don't know. You know,
he's still expecting. He's gone from asking to die to expecting to die, right? Like that's. Still,
I think he
progress.
is hoping. He does seem to have some hope for an outcome where he doesn't, where maybe he can mount later rebellions.
Yeah,
but we
I
see
think
more
if he
of that
found
a
himself-
little later.
Yeah, like if he found himself useful down the line, he's not going to just like he's in too important a role. If he just wanted to die, he could have gotten somebody else to kill him at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe you're right that he's looking to die purposefully or something, but I don't fully see it. But let's read on and all will be revealed.
Yeah.
They drop the HE double hockey sticks.
They drop a heck bomb?
A huge heckin' heck bomb.
Where the heck is this heckin' heck bomb?
Bottom of the first page of chapter 23 for us.
Frick me.
The
Arbron
spaceport will be
says-
hell.
The spaceport will be hell.
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
You highlighted it.
Yeah, but I didn't say it was. I missed it was a curse. I love cursing. I freaking love heck curses.
I remember another. I don't know what book it is, but I remember another instance where I think Tobias. This is just stuck in my mind because it was such a big deal to me as a kid, where Tobias says hell in a later book. But I don't remember.
I feel like
this
we
one.
got one from Marco, like a raise hell or something like that.
Yeah,
It was like
that sounds
in a
right.
phrase, but it was still like, whoa. Whereas,
How do you turn a phrase? All right.
But
So-
Arbron says you won't be able to tell the difference between my Taxxons and Taxxon controllers, so don't hesitate. Do what you have to. So he's saying he understands that Elfangor might cut him down, Elfangor should
Not
not
him. He didn't say him.
But doesn't he include himself in that? He's saying
no, he
don't.
says
No.
between my Taxxons and Taxxon controllers, so don't hesitate, do what you have to do. That's all he says.
That's
and
all he says.
can
It's
thought
not nearly
speak,
as-
But I feel like he is saying, like, if I don't thought speak back to you, like, if you can't tell that
Yeah.
a Taxxon is me, you have free reign to kill it.
But then, right after that, which kind of just makes me think that is what he's saying, Elfangor is like, he notices that, this is so cute, Arbron's legs have not fully grown back yet, they're only half grown back, so I could still recognize him. And I feel like that's to reassure us that even though Arbron just said that, Elfangor will be able to...
To know who
Identify.
Arbron is, at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We get a very vaginal description of the suck tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
And
go
a very
into it-
phallic description
Of the Mustang.
Yeah.
Well, let's just read the line. I nosed the yellow Mustang into the living
Well, so what's
pulsating-
happening here is they're loading up the suck tunnels with warriors who are going to get the suck tunnels will turn to blow tunnels, and they'll blow these little suckers out
Yeah.
into battle at the spaceport,
Yes, I'm gonna read this whole thing.
and then they're gonna put Elfangor in with the Mustang.
Right,
guys.
they, so they all
Bloody
go.
engine.
They weirdly give us a description of the fact that it takes 8 seconds or so to shoot them down 5 separate tubes, and it takes about a half an hour. So it's like fun math problem for your kids. Figure out how many Taxxons there were.
So I nosed the yellow Mustang into the living pulsating gap in the
Nose,
tube.
this is wild language.
To my
nose.
amazement, the tube stretched for me and the machine, It flattened down and widened out, leaving just inches of clearance. I felt the whoosh of air pressure. It blew me down the tube. So now the suck tube is blowing Elfangor down the tube.
Yeah.
I gunned the engine and went from 0 to 200 miles per hour in seconds. And Elfangor goes out of the way to say he's not having fun. He's not enjoying this.
No.
Don't get him wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
That's right. This is a sex-negative book.
Yeah.
oh, and then he blasts
Despite all
down
evidence to the
living tunnel.
contrary. Driving this across the open, plains at 100 miles per hour, he's ecstatic.
That's fine.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Going 200 miles per hour with inches of clearance dragging your stalk eyes against your head.
Not pleasurable.
No.
But I knows this is nothing any child should ever have to imagine. I knows the yellow Mustang into the living. Pulsating gap in the tube.
Not a gash.
It's so, it's a sphincter.
Yeah.
So what do we think about this unbirth, rebirth, this death and rebirth symbolism that we've got going on here?
It would make sense to me if it weren't a Mustang and a fucking blow tube.
It makes sense for what happened to Arbron. I'm not sure it makes sense for what's happened to Elfangor thus far in the book.
You don't
Like,
think you don't think this is the reuniting of masculine and feminine before we plunge back to the top side to the end of the magic realm?
It's hard to say, right? It's hard to say. I will say that this is the big push into the end of the book. This is the moment. This was the little rest into the, or what is it called?
The denouement.
Denouement. But yeah, so it's I don't know, maybe that's what these suck tubes signify is get ready for action.
Could you say more about what the suck tubes signify, Chris? Say more.
I have a whole book about suck tubes in literature.
And I have a book hole.
Well, it's the New York Times review was, you got to get this book and put it in your book hole.
Miranda, maybe the symbolic value of this moment would stand out to me more if he weren't driving a yellow Mustang.
The yellow Mustang, it's
if he
the
was
yellow
sliding
for me,
and he
honestly.
came out in
covered in goo.
covered in goo.
Yeah, this is a great rebirth moment.
He had to learn to walk again afterwards. But
Very seriously, why wasn't he covered in goo? Let's talk about
he's cool. He's in a yellow
These
Mustang.
are dry suck tunnels, okay? As dry as possible.
That's
That's what we need to ask K.A. Applegate when we get her on the podcast.
So how dry are these suck tunnels?
The suck tunnels, are they dry or are they?
Are we talking bone dry?
They actually probably made her state that they were. They were
can't see
as
they're
long as the
lubricated.
tunnel's dry, we can publish.
Yeah, can't put the tunnels in the book if they're wet.
These are dry suck tunnels.
These are dry.
We learned our lesson with those sewers in It. He told us it was going to be about a murderous clown and he snuck in an underage orgy, and we're not here for it.
Did Scholastic publish it?
No.
That's why I got all quiet. I was like, there's no way.
Elfangor emerges.
To say emerged is an understatement. He gets shot out into the air in the car, still revving the engine.
Yep.
And this car, which is a car.
No music.
My car, which lightly felled a deer. Deer's probably
The deer
okay.
walked
We
away.
don't know. Yeah, deer walked away. But the point is, my car could have been totaled from that. And now, if my car had been shot out of a blow tube and been asked to land from, even if you drop my car from 10 feet, it's over.
I feel like this is a continuation of the Jahar joke.
If you drop
My wife,
Yeah, so
from 10 feet, she's going to sprain her ankle. Okay?
if Jahar is Alarin's wife, what is the Mustang?
Elfangor's
Jahar-
burgeoning sexuality.
Yes, that is true. That's 100% true.
He's performing a spiritual consummation before his real consummation with Lauren comes in a few chapters.
And he's driving it away from
no
Arbron
pun
and
intended.
towards Lauren.
This is such a fucking weird response.
I'm a dolphin. I'm a dolphin who likes dirty jokes.
It eternally funny to me if a dolphin came up and clicked once. I don't know why. It would just
Click.
with one little click at you,
Yeah.
and then just sat there and stared into your soul.
But I just, I want to point out, this kid's not wearing a seatbelt. He took the seats out of his car. Yeah, he's just standing in the front of this Mustang, and the car hits the ground, and he is immediately bloodied
He
up.
bruises his elbow, guys.
He bruises his little elbow.
and his forehoof.
And this is, gotta be an old Mustang. I was shocked if there's an airbag. It'd be so funny if there's a fucking airbag
Definitely
and it
wouldn't
deployed
be
when he
side airbags.
landed.
No, that would
Taxxon
be-
is the airbag.
Imagine, oh my god, why were we robbed of a scene of him explaining the airbag exploding into his
Yes,
face?
yes. But after that, he immediately sees a Taxxon and starts Grand Theft Autoing it.
Absolutely.
And just GTA 3 all fucking day. He's just carving up Taxxons.
Running people over, looking for hookers.
Which the thing is if you're looking for a Taxxon hooker, no, I'm just kidding. But if you're looking for hitting a Taxxon, one would imagine they're mostly filled with a liquid, and water's heavy as shit. I don't know. If you hit a human, humans are 80% water. We're
Maybe they've just got-
99.99% water. If I remember correctly,
Why? Because you're saying because it bursts open like a bag of garbage?
I'm just saying, this car's totaled, man.
It is a little strange that he's not pierced. He just smashes open. It takes a lot of force and generally something on the other side to smash a human open.
Right.
Much thinner skin? Oh, maybe they're just more tightly stuffed.
Could be.
Like a
bursting at the
too tightly
seams.
stuffed sausage.
Yeah.
That's so adorable.
Yeah. I mean, you burst open a bug
Anyway.
sometimes, and like a caterpillar, and it just kind of goops
Why
out.
would you do that?
As a kid, I stepped on a good caterpillar or two, and they kind of
Okay.
gooped out.
So he then, after smooshing a bunch of Taxxons, he drives by a Hork-Bajir who recognizes him, and then shouts "Andalite" in surprise and greedy delight.
I thought you said surprising, and I'm like, surprising, greedy delight. And I'm like,
No.
That was kind of charming. That was the most charming thing a Hork-Bajir's done so far, I think.
yeah.
Cheer. No, it doesn't cheer. It cries in surprise and
It's
greedy
just
delight.
yes.
Delight!
And the light.
But yeah, so then the frickin' Hork-Bajir matrixes over, doing some sort of handspring over the Mustang, and slow motion whispers into Elfangor's ear, "Your body will be mine." And then he lands and
Wild.
yeah,
I
it's not
don't
in the
remember
book.
that.
It's not in the book.
Okay.
It's just in my head canon.
It's in the Fast
'Cause
and Furious remake of the book.
Yeah.
If we did this
Yeah.
battle as a Fast and Furious film, their cars would circle each other and they would just touch over the top.
Yeah, exactly. But it's that's. I mean, he said that earlier in the book where he pushed him out of that maglev train. He was like, it'd be a shame. He just wants to.
Oh, you're assuming that this was Sub-Visser 7.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it could have been just any Hork-Bajir, to be honest with you, given that he utterly annihilates him with the car.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
I
Oh,
guess
never mind.
because
No,
that
he does.
that flip move, that badass Matrix flip move happens because the car took out his legs.
Yeah.
All right, my mistake. My mistake. I thought it was Sub-Visser 7 being a badass. I was like, yeah.
He
That's
does
when they
land
started
in the
cheering
dirt.
for
We
him.
don't confirm that he is severely injured, but we do send him flying.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that.
I feel like they
My
could have done
wife.
their line. I think they could have done the Rachel line. He cartwheeled over my head and landed in the dirt behind me. He didn't get up again. That's what it would have said. If Rachel was an elephant and plowed over him, that's what it would
Oh yeah, for sure. But
right,
he's
well, my
gone
mistake.
too fast. He's gone too fast in his car. He's just got to get to
He's got a fast
the Jahar.
car.
All right, that's Alaron's wife, the Jahar.
He smushes
Well, she
a
just goes
lot
by
of,
Jahar, but
He smushes a lot of enemies.
Yeah.
And
does.
he's definitely hitting some mountain taxons, I think.
almost certainly.
Yeah.
But then he sees the Jahar and he sees these two alien silhouettes that walk on two legs with no tails. Look, that's who he's looking for. They're already there. What luck!
He also sees a single taxon standing alone on the ramp. This really sets up, I think, that his heart really goes for Arbron. A single taxon with 4 legs shorter than the rest. I think if I were to get one stuffed animal of all of the characters we've met in
Arbron?
it would
Arbron
be
is a
Arbron with
Taxxon.
his little legs, his little
Yeah,
Taxxon.
it's like
It would be one of
Nemo.
those-
Yeah,
It would
is.
be like one of those toys. Did you ever have those reversible toys? Like a
Yeah.
stuffed animal that you could flip inside out and it would change form. And so it's like Andalite on one side, Taxxon on the other.
Aw.
Yeah.
And then you could have like a little suck tunnel that you store it into. Maybe it flips out into.
No,
It
that's
comes
a book
in a
hole.
pneumatic tube. It's a book hole.
That's my book hole.
That's my book hole. Stop putting stuff in it. Unless it's a book, it shouldn't be in there.
But Arbron's not doing so well.
No, he calls out for him. He's like, Arbron! And he goes over and he says, Elfangor, I can't hold them any longer. And Elfangor's like, are these Taxxon controllers or are they your soldiers? And he's like, there is no difference anymore, Elfangor. Blood has been spilled. The hunger. Stop me, Elfangor. Stop me.
And then he starts charging. Right for the humans, mouth gaping open.
Right for the humans' gaping mouths. They were so shocked.
They wanted to chomp on those. What does our email say? Chomp on those nasty boys or
Munch
something.
on those.
Munch.
Munch on those little potato boys.
Yeah.
I think
What are you
it
talking
is.
about?
Oh, our email,
one of our
fan
fans'
mail.
emails.
Oh.
Yeah. Somebody tried to gross us out. Write us more gross emails, you guys.
Yeah.
Not too gross, though. Don't make it about us. Just about, like, eating yerks.
Yeah.
So we've had. I think we've had.
Actually, you know what? Don't send us any emails. I take it all back.
Put it all in the 5-star reviews.
yes.
Yeah, put it
Please.
in the 5-star
Anything you
reviews.
want in the 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
We have. So we get the hunger. We've had the ecstasy. And then didn't we get the fugue or something like
We
that?
did. And we also
Yeah.
got
Fugue.
Stop Me.
Stop me,
Stop
stop
me, Elfangor. Stop me. Yeah.
And this is where the book kind of breaks. Like, because Elfangor gets up and starts to run through the, he leaps out of the Mustang, he starts plowing into the Max of Taxxon body, is trying to save these little human cows that are just so cute. They're just like walking around being cows with little
love
bells around
cows.
there. They're so cute. And then he starts a murderating. He starts like, my tail whipped through the air. Strike and push through. Strike and push through. Strike, 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 strike.
Yeah.
That's one word. Book just glitches.
Yeah.
Everybody goes into a T pose there.
That's
for
how
a
much
minute,
he's
and the frame
murdering.
rate drops.
And we
Yeah.
get two no moments in a row here, which
do.
reminds me of Darth Vader in that one scene.
Yeah, he starts with a no, and then he comes in with another no when he gets there.
And look, he's still confused about who his heart desires. We get Lauren, Ron, Arbron. No, I mean, I guess he's calling out to them for two different reasons.
His
two very different
like,
reasons.
yeah, his two loves are meeting, and it's not going well.
Oh
It's,
my
you know,
gosh, this is the classic took 2 dates to the prom episode.
This is
One showed up at Taxxon.
I took 2 dates to the revolution. Oh, how awkward.
It would be, I think, a better story if he loved Arbron, and then Arbron
does
turned
love
into the
Arbron.
thing that Elfangor hates. And the question was,
He does hate Taxxons.
but he loves Arbron.
So the question is will that outweigh his love of Florette?
yeah. No, it's will it outweigh his hatred. for
prefer?
Taxxon?
Yeah, it's like, do I prefer the unproblematic? Well, let's not go that far, but the medium like Loren. I have medium likes for her, or do I ignore the thing I hate for my big like, or do they even out to the same? Which am I picking here?
But isn't that what big like really is? You know, when you get to know someone, the veneer kind of, you know, you gotta love the whole person. You gotta
Not the
love
person
the
whole?
Taxxon.
No.
That's for you
No.
and the person to decide.
Yeah.
But
I said it with a W, didn't I? No.
yeah.
You gotta love the person whole. Does seem like a weird instruction.
It really
you can't
sounded.
take them apart. You have to
can't-
love them whole.
The whole
I didn't hear
Taxxon,
it
the
with
Taxxon
the W,
hole.
because we were just talking about suck
Oh
holes
yeah, the
and
suck hole and the blowhole and the
Yeah.
book hole.
Yeah, you've got too many holes in proximity
That's the-
to your W hole.
You're right.
For that to be a.
Oh, my W hole. I always forget about that one.
But if we're talking about the entire hole, that's an important
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so confused.
I
and
think
this is
the
so
entire
many
hole
holes
is
are
the
in a
living
straw?
hive.
How many holes are... I think just one. I think it's just one hole.
It's either one or like
When you squish
infinity.
it flat. How is it... I see your game.
So we're charging up the ramp. The human Chapman was free, and it was toward him that Arbron ran. The human Chapman screamed. Arbron reared back, ready to slam his upper body down on the frail human.
Do
He's
it,
about to kill
Arbron!
Chapman. He was about to save us a whole bunch of anguish in
It's
chapters
true.
to come.
Yeah, and in
The whole
mainline
series. Yeah.
Yes, Elfangor cries out, "Arrest Arbron! You will stop! You will do your duty!" And Arbron,
Which is to kill Chapman.
his Andalite brain takes over in this moment.
He's able to quell the hunger for long enough to stop him from eating Chapman right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then some Taxxons are falling back, and out come a bunch of Hork-Bajir. And one of them looks familiar.
Yeah, can I read this line?
Yeah.
It's our old friend being nice and theatrical, and he comes in and he says, it's Subvisor 7. He's, "Surrender, Elfangor. Subvisor 7 practically purred. I won't kill you, I'll just use you. I'll leave this crude body and live inside your head rent-free. I'll wrap myself around your smug, arrogant Andalite brain like some sort of blankie. And with your Andalite morphing power,
Oh, and you forgot.
And snug as
and
a bug.
Make you my slave.
Oh, yeah, making
sorry,
mistakes in there too.
I like looked away to make a face at you guys, and then I looked back and I was on a different part of the page. And from my snug, cozy, blankie-like place, I will run the galaxy before I'm done. It's either that or death, Andalite. There's no third choice. You know, if he hadn't said there's no third choice, he would have been like, "Is there a third option? I'll take a
Anything
third
else?
option."
Anything else we could
Anything
do?
else? Is it really just cake or death?
Could we take some
Like,
of one,
I'm not
bit
really
of
hungry.
two, put it together?
But in this moment, I wonder, we already have two choices for Elfangor with who he can choose as his love interest. I think Subvisor 7's actually introducing himself here as the third choice.
Absolutely agree.
This was a very flirty...
Absolutely agree.
I hadn't picked up on the sexual tension there, but...
Wait, who's the third choice?
That's
Oh,
Subvisor
he's the
7
third
is-
choice from Arbron, Loren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's also the one coming in sort of like the,
He's shooting a shot.
he's the bad boy, right? But he's also
yeah,
the one who's like genuinely bad for you. Like you want against, like, he doesn't think you're really a person, like, and he doesn't think you should have rights, but something about him, like, maybe you could fix him.
Yeah. And you know his star's ascendant. He won't be Subvisor 7 for long.
That's true. So obviously, Arbron, hearing this, is able to claw back. You know, he was able to stop himself from killing Chapman, and now he's able to fully, like, pal around and be like, "Guess we're a long way from the Star Sword, eh, Elfangor? See, with a touch of his old humor, you see? He was the humor guy."
Yeah, he's
the
funny.
humor
He's a
guy.
funny guy.
It's funny. He's a funny guy.
He says, "We are one lost, lonely pair of Aeriths. Tell that Yerk scum to dream on, Elfangor. Tell him we
Dream
are
on,
Andalites. We
dream
don't
on."
surrender." And then Elfangor does tell Subvisor 7, and I love this moment. Subvisor 7 says, "Okay, I will come get you. Cut him down!" He screamed with sudden rage. And which parts do you think he's screaming with sudden rage? Does he start with the rage when he says cut him down, or does he say, "Okay, I will come get you"? Like,
I think in the movie the line reads the second one you did.
Yeah.
Like, but on the page it really reads that way. It's like, "You heard my friend Subvisor 7. You want me? Come get me." Okay. I will come get you. Cut him down! Like, I think that's what I'm seeing on the page here,
Yeah.
but like in the movie to make it work, like,
Yeah.
Here I
someone's
come.
gonna have to like, yeah.
And the Hork-Bajir, they run up the ramp at him, but they can only come 2 by 2. It's like that moment in 300. So he's able to
not-
fight him off for a bit.
Yeah, or the Bible.
Oh, well, you know.
Yeah. Noah's Ark.
Elfangor does his family's signature move and cuts off a hand.
It's true.
Axe isn't even born yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how the book ends.
Yeah.
He's starting to get overwhelmed. And right as he's getting overwhelmed, he hears Lauren screaming, "Look out!" And he's, running around. He says Arbron did what he could, but a Taxxon is helpless in a blade fight. And something about that to me is just so sad. They were like, the Hork-Bajir just climbed over him. I'm like, well, at least they didn't kill him, I guess.
They didn't even recognize him as something to kill. They were just like, oh, who left all this stuff in this battle?
And then another Hork-Bajir steps up, and this one has something to think.
So how are you enjoying the war, Arist, Elfangor? See how it rhymed, what I said?
See, this is actually War Prince Alarin and Hork-Bajir morph.
Yeah.
But he's a Nothlit now, and we'll be trapped in Hork-Bajir.
I hear the Power Rangers, do you know when that guitar comes in when, the battle escalates, a new character enters the scene? And that's what... Yeah, exactly. Because he goes, War Prince Alarin in Hork-Bajir morph. It feels like you can see the camera zoom in on him, and he does a move.
Yeah, and it says his name for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
It's just War Prince Alarin, and he turns and looks at a camera.
He
and
actually
his name's
spins. I think he's spinning to attack the Subvisor, but...
See, that's the GIF I would make to put online. The GIF I want on our Twitter.
Is a Hork-Bajir spinning around?
No, Prince Alarin.
Oh, okay.
It's trying to the intro. It's set to the Power Rangers theme, which there's no music in GIFs. GIFs are silent like the night.
It's true.
So Alarin spins and he puts his his wrist blade against the Subvisor's throat. Against the
Don't move,
throat.
Yerk.
He's holding it against another Hork-Bajir's throat, though, right?
Yeah, he's got a Hork-Bajir, but it's full of Yerk, and it's Subvisor 7.
He's got a bag full of Yerk. A bag of Yerk.
And he takes one of his wrist blades and holds it in front of his throat and is like, "Don't move, Yerk. Don't even breathe. Call off your men. Do it or I'll laugh when your head goes rolling across the ground." So, he's super with it.
Yeah.
Alarin's in a good place right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he calls up the attack, and suddenly we're back in negotiations. It's really important to remember, kids. You keep on keeping on. You guys stay in there.
Go back to
you
the
never know
table.
when you're going back.
You can always redraw.
Yeah, you thought you flipped the table, somebody sets it back up, sit your ass down, let's make a deal. Let's cut a deal,
We had a gap earlier, but now there's a gash in Elfangor's chest. And Lauren comes over. We don't know when he gets wounded, right?
He just got cut at some point.
Alarin starts making demands. Now here's what we're going to do to two humans and my two friends and they're friends now. My two friends and I are going aboard the Jahar. I immediately went into my wife mode.
Are going to board the My Wife. Right.
And you, Subvisor, are coming with us. Once we're off the cradle, we'll toss you back out. Now he's saying toss you back out, but gently. Yeah, at this point.
That's definitely the implication.
I mean, he's in a Hork-Bajir body. He's pretty sturdy, so he can survive a minor fall.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Do I have a choice?" and then Alarin points out, "There's always a choice, Yerk. I can cut you right out of that Hork-Bajir and feed your impotent slug body to my Taxxon friend here. To my friend the Taxxon here. To Taxxon's the friend of mine here. That's one choice. Or you can order your men back down the ramp. All the way down. That's another choice.
This is an amazing exchange
Or...
This is a really, actually very big exchange that happens
it's
here.
True.
Yeah. Whatever became of the Andalite reputation for kindness and gentleness, the Yerk mocked.
What happened to the tolerant left?
What happened?
So much for the tolerant left. That's the line.
We left that image in the ashes of the Hork-Bajir homeworld.
Yeah.
This is once again Alarin with all the best lines.
And he puts on the CSI glasses.
What are the CSI glasses?
Yeah!
There's it's like the start of CSI. This guy
CSI
puts
Miami.
on glasses.
He used to say a witty one-liner and then put the glasses
Horatio,
on.
what's his name?
I don't remember. And then it was the intro to Miami Vice or CSI Miami would play, which I think might be Won't Get Fooled Again.
We left that image in the ashes of the Hork-Bajir homeworld. You were there. I was there. Alarin says. My name is Alarin Scimitar Karas, War Prince Alarin. And then suddenly, Subvisor 7 seems afraid for the first time that we've ever seen him. I guess he hasn't been
Which
around.
is actually like pretty incredible that he's this scared.
Yeah.
Now, what we will learn soon is that there's another plan going on here in the backgrounds. But do we think at this point that plan has started?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
I think that plan has to have been.
Yeah.
The Subvisor seems afraid. Together, we backed carefully toward my wife, Alarin.
Yep.
With the my wife
Alarin's
does
wife.
go a long way.
It's his wife this time, right?
Why is
Who's
it?
narrating?
Oh, I
Elfangor's
understand.
narrating, so it's the.
I just thought it was always my wife. Okay.
Or the Alarin's wife, yeah.
The Alarin's wife.
So together we backed carefully toward the Jahar, Alarin with the Yerk Subvisor in his steel grip, Lauren still tending my wound,
Ew.
and Chapman, the treacherous human who had led us all to this terrible mess.
But Arbron's not coming.
Yeah, Arbon's not coming in. This is very sick. Come on, Arbon. Come with us, Arbon, I said. Look around. The free Taxxons have lost. The living Hive will be destroyed. There's no future for you here.
Elfangor, there's no future for me anywhere.
But you can't. Who's going to remind me not to be so stiff? Who's going to laugh at me when I start talking about being a great prince?
You go, Elfangor. Go save the galaxy.
Leave him! Warrior Arbon is a casualty of war. That's
That's what Alarin says.
That's how Alarin sounds. I know we haven't been doing the voice all episode, but that's in my
I think we should have given him the
Sounds like-
Jake voice. Leave him. Arist, I mean. Warrior Arbron is a casualty of war. Is that the Jake voice?
Yes,
We haven't done
yeah.
Jake's voice in a while, but it's kind of...
Yeah, he's like,
Well, wasn't it you
Beach Boy
doing
voice.
me doing the Jake voice? Yeah, it was us interpreting or imitating each other doing the voices.
Yeah.
All right, yep, I need my last truly. My final truly.
Wait, there's more. I haven't gotten to single kissy. You one kissy already.
Thanks for listening to Anidorks. We'll be back soon with lots more to say. Until the Andalites return, or at least until next time. See you soon!